Okay, so we're going to talk real quick about the prepaid legal service plan, and we're going to talk about the Missouri law attached to that. You're going to see when you look on that first page where it breaks down all the color-coded sections about what's in this section, what's in that section, you're going to see reference to 379.901. And that is the only, and I'm going to say that again, that is the only thing in Missouri state law anywhere on prepaid legal laws and requirements. And the section is 6 little segments. So all of this test, everything you're talking about, the majority of it's going to be on the insurance divisions. Okay, there's going to be very little on prepaid legal. And I'm going to read the whole section. So it's pretty simple, and we're going to explain each one. As used in this section, the term prepaid legal service plan means any person, company, corporation, partnership, or other legal entity who collects periodic fees on a prepaid basis from residents of this state in connection with legal coverage other than. So it's saying everybody except a retainer contract made by attorneys at law in which the individual client with fees based on estimates of the nature of the amount of legal services to be provided to that specific client, and similar contracts made with a group of clients involved in the same or closely related legal matters. I'm going to skip to the next one and read that one too, and then we'll come back. Any lawyer, aid, or other legal services program for this indigent. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that an attorney or legal entity collecting services specifically for one purpose, for one member, can do that. Collect a retainer, you're familiar with that. Somebody says, you know, I want to talk to you about this, and they say, well, there's a $1,000 retainer, and we'll talk about it. That's completely legal. An attorney can do that without being licensed. Now, if the same attorney says, why don't you pay me $100 a month, and I'll cover a certain scheduled number of things, then they are required to be licensed. If they say you pay me $100 a month and it goes into an account that I bill you, and at the end of a month you have $1,200, and if you use $1,400, you owe me $200. If you use $900, I've got $300 more. That's a retainer situation. So an attorney does not have to be licensed to be an attorney, but they do have to be licensed to sell prepaid legal. Got it? Okay, so any employer-employee welfare benefits plan, to the extent that the state laws are superseded by the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, or any amendments hereto, provided evidence of exemption from state law are shown to the department. Basically what that means, if it's an entity trying to help out individuals within a certain class, they may get exemptions from the license, but it's required to get that exemption. Understand that? Okay. The furnishing of legal assistance by labor unions or other employee organizations to their members in matters relating to employment or occupations. Same thing. Employers can help their employees. Church groups can help their people. I mean, that's going to be all spelled out here. The furnishing of legal assistance to members or their dependents by churches, co-ops, educational institutions, credit unions, labor unions. There's a ton of different things in here. Where assistance is provided as an incident to membership and not the basis of an optional fee or charge, and the administration of such program of legal assistance is wholly conducted by the organization. Somebody summarize that for me. My interpretation, and yours may be different, but my interpretation is they can help people out, they can make legal payments on their behalf or try and enlist someone else to help, provided that's not their sole purpose of business, and provided they're not hoping to generate a profit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir?
Well, basically, I have a couple uncles and aunts that work for labor unions, and basically they have legal services that they can only use for work-related matters. So that's what that is.
Good point. That is a good point, because I know like certain police officers have a police program that helps them with legal situations that come resulting from activities on their job. So that is, and again, some of this is interpretive. I mean, you got to figure out what you think it means, because I'm not an attorney and I'm reading, and I'm not a legislator, and I'm reading through this, but that's, I think Dustin, I think that's a pretty good example. Legal services provided by an agency of the federal or state government or subdivision thereof to its employees. So, you should have noticed a common theme. If you're trying to protect your employees, you don't have to be licensed. If you're trying to protect people that are within your organization, whatever that organization may be, sometimes it's going to require an exemption from the state to be considered that organization. Or if you're an attorney dispensing legal advice and doing attorney work, you don't have to be licensed. But other than that, anybody that wants to do what we do needs to get licensed. But that section, just so you know, is the only thing in the state that describes prepaid legal anywhere, ever, at all. So, and it basically says everyone needs to be licensed except these people. And that's the whole section. So now, in summary, this should conclude the entire study guide. We've gone through all the pages of the study guide, and I encourage you to watch these videos a couple of different times. If you miss any of the sections when you take your test, they're going to show you what you missed. So you may score really high in 6 categories and miss one of the categories. You can go back and just watch the video attached to that category. There's also going to be a summary that we're going to do, and the summary is kind of the, before I take the test, I really want to hammer these things home. We're going to talk about the days, we're going to talk about some specific examples of each individual section, and that's coming up next.